Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Mitter, and it's an honor and a privilege to stand here and represent my daughter, Madison Mitter, with 13 months clean and sober. It was about 2.5 years ago, I think. It was a Saturday. It was a nice sunny day. I was washing my car, and Maddy came out of the house and she said, "Dad, let's go on a road trip." And I said, "Okay." She runs over to the car and jumps in. She said, "I'm driving." I said, "Okay." So I get in the passenger seat. We're driving down the road. We get onto the Stigma Expressway, heading toward Philly. And we're getting up to about 60 miles an hour. And I noticed the car starting to swerve a little bit. And getting a little faster, and the car's swerving more and more, and all of a sudden it bumps into the car next to us. And I'm like, "What the hell, Maddy?" I look over, and she's wearing a blindfold. I'm like, "Maddy, you're driving. What are you wearing a blindfold for?" She said, "Dad, this is road trip recovery. Just sit there and hold on." That's not what really happened. That's kind of how I remember it. So, going through this with Maddy, and I know everybody here has gone through it, when the shit first hits the fan, rehab is the easy part of the decision. Things have gotten bad and it's time to go to rehab, and normally they're at that point a lot of times where they can go into rehab. The hard part is you get through rehab and you either think, well, everything's fixed now, so they can come home, or they think that they're fixed and they can come home. So the aftercare sober living is a tough sell. It's tough for parents, and it's even tougher for a young adult to commit the next 6 to 12 months minimum out of the house in sober living with a bunch of people they don't know in an unfamiliar setting. So I traveled around to several states and visited a lot of sober living homes after our second time in rehab. And I was wondering in a lot of these places how anybody stayed sober. And when I finally came across MVP and Brian and Chrissy, it is a miracle that they saw the hole that existed in sober living and created structured sober living for everybody. And it's a very simple process. Structured sober living, structured sober living. What's the difference? Well, the difference is basically, if you asked all of them, it would be just a shit ton of rules. But in sobriety, rules is what works. Rules is the only thing that works. Because without the rules, everybody wants to invent their own form of sobriety. And that can be, well, maybe I'll get high Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that way I can go to work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, inventing your own form of sobriety never works. Everybody's tried it, and they know it doesn't work. So that's why they end up in a good program like MVP with structured sober living, with rules, a lot of rules, and pull-ups and consequences. And you just have to dig deep when you're frustrated and you get pull-ups and consequences. You got to suck it up and do the work, because you'll find that even the worst consequences with the pull-ups still beats the best day of addiction out on the street. And that's the truth of it. And the two things in addiction that are the two things that I like to, are close to my heart, that I like to talk about is recovery is a team sport. It's not, there is no I in team and there's no I in recovery. So what I would love to see, a plaque above every doorway and every hallway, is when you can't find it in yourself, you will find it in them. You can't do it yourself. That's why structured sober living works. That's why it works. And whenever you can't find it in yourself, you will find it in somebody else there. And that's what keeps it together for everybody. So, it's been my honor to walk this path with Maddy. There's not a million things in life that I'm proud of, but I am proud to be the father of my daughter.
I'm Maddy, I'm an alcoholic. So my sobriety date is April 24th, 2018. And I just wanted to say that story scared the crap out of me. I really thought that that might actually happen. I'm really happy that it didn't. Okay, so first I would like to start off with one of the main deciding factors as to why I came to MVP. Most people know about the impact letters that family members will write to their loved ones in rehab talking about how their addiction has affected their own lives. And I wanted to read a couple sentences that my dad wrote to me in his letter. So it says, "My dream is to see in your eyes one day that look that no matter what else life holds for you, you just cannot go back. This is your battle to fight, for you know I will follow you into any battle to fight any dragon. Now I need you to take the point, to be out in front and lead charge, for this is your fight, the fight of your life. You are much stronger than you know." That was a really nice letter. So I didn't come to MVP and AA in a state of desperation. I still had a place to stay, a supportive family, a car, and a job. I didn't want to be sober. It just happened to be convenient for me. I came to MVP with only one single goal in mind, that maybe if I gave this a shot, I would obtain some level of happiness that I'd been missing for a very long time. I feel like it's important to stress this because many people believe that you need to hit rock bottom in order to do what is necessary to stay sober, but in addiction, I believe my true bottom was death. I had been in and out of treatment centers and recovery houses, but I'd never given any of them a chance because of my love for drugs and alcohol. I had accomplished things in my addiction. I went to college and got a degree. I was able to hold down a job, barely, but I was doing it, and that's only because I was working for my dad's company also. I thought I could make it work because I had to make it work. I just couldn't imagine living a sober life, and even yet, a completely sober life. It didn't seem feasible to me because the thought of being in recovery scared me more than dying. Knowing all these hoops I had to jump through and all the hurdles that would be in front of me, starting a life in recovery was absolutely terrifying. Drinking and using was easy. There was no moving forward, you were just simply existing. But my biggest fear of all was knowing that every single thing in my life was about to change. My friends, my location, my coping mechanisms, my whole daily routine. To put it simply, for those of you who aren't familiar, just think to yourself, if you had to completely transform your entire life, everything you've learned, everything you know, and everything you think you know in a very short span of time, that's a glimpse of what it feels like. I didn't think it was possible, maybe for other people, but not for me. I didn't want to do the work, and that was that. All the other feeble attempts at getting sober in the past were either through probation or because of my dad pleading with me to try again. Everything went in one ear and out the other. My mind would be made up as soon as I arrived somewhere. I would do this just for the time being until everyone is off my back. And that's how it was for years. I refused to help because I still didn't want it. When I came to MVP, I barely had enough energy to do chores around the house. I wanted to leave the second I got there, but for the first time I gave myself a chance because I was tired. I was tired of not having any plans or goals for myself, tired of not living up to my potential that I knew I had, and I was tired of letting people down. Simple tasks seemed so difficult. Sitting down for an hour-long meeting was a struggle, and following a system of authority and rules was a concept that seemed confusing to me. But over time, I got used to what I had to do in order to stay sober. I can say without a doubt in my mind that the only reason I was able to graduate this program was because of the bonds I had formed with many people in this room, women and men. Knowing that I now had people that cared about me for who I am and that only wanted me to grow in a positive way was a very surreal and amazing experience. I've learned a lot about myself through these relationships. I've learned to be more compassionate, kind, understanding, vulnerable, and teachable. I've learned that no matter how different we all share a common bond that holds us together, and we will always have each other's backs no matter what happens. This is something I haven't found anywhere else other than in this program and in AA. Through working the program of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps, I no longer believe that changing myself is impossible. I am constantly learning to become more self-aware in order to make the changes I need to live a better life and help other people do the same. My life is simple today, but I'm grateful for that. I once heard in a meeting that it is important to not confuse the feeling of boredom with inner peace. A few months ago, I might have told you that my life was boring, but that is not true because I understand now that my mind is calm and my life isn't chaotic. I can do anything I want. I'm not obsessing, I'm not rushing, I'm not destroying my entire life anymore for no means to an end. It took me a really long time to accept this way of life, to accept addiction as a disease and to do what needs to be done, to think this could work for me. In this sense, sometimes it's easier to give up your old beliefs and try something new because you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I definitely wouldn't be here without my family and my friends, and I love you all very much.